Hello there, and welcome to another episode of our ATG podcast. We have plenty of them that you guys can already check out on our YouTube page. Today, we're very excited as we start another one of our podcasts. We're on the topic of Scada consulting, and with me, we have James as well as Jeff. We have one of the titans of the industry. Jeff, talk to us a little bit more about what you do, how long you've been here, and something interesting about day one.
Okay, well, good to be here. I've been here since the beginning of life, I guess, through everything. So we started doing a lot of two-way radios and then cell phone installations and paging and hilltop repairs and microwave systems, where we do two-way point-to-point microwave for high-speed data transfer, as well as bringing in the SCADA portion, which we're going to talk about today. It's been a constant learning curve through
Right.
changing of technology.
Yeah, and it's changed so much.
Yes, there's been a lot of different product that comes in.
Mm-hmm.
So as new product phases out, end of life equipment, we then look at what the new technology is bringing
Mm-hmm.
and what changes the topology is making on that link. What worked today
Mm-hmm.
with the legacy equipment may not be the same fit for the new product.
Right.
Different characteristics, different receive sensitivity levels, different power requirements,
Mm-hmm.
different frequency usage. We're now looking more in some of the SCADA radios being a modulated network rather than an amplified. So we can go through and we're looking at how that signal is propagating through the area
Yeah.
and working with that client to make sure that their system is reliable and stable
Mm-hmm.
for the SCADA system.
Yeah. I mean, I can
So,
only imagine. I'm 35. I'm not that old, but I remember seeing a pager. You know what I mean? Like it's
oh,
like
that's
as
not that old.
yeah. But I mean, like it's changed.
Do you remember
so
it when it
much.
went beep beep beep,
Yes.
and you had to then call the office? You had
Yeah.
to find what is
Find
what's
a
called
phone.
a payphone,
Uh-huh.
and you stopped along the road. There were,
Yeah.
if you go into Harris Ranch, they used to have a whole hallway filled with
Oh
probably
wow.
20 payphones.
Uh-huh.
Because every person that was up there for lunch, pagers would go
Stop
off,
by. Yeah.
and they would need to go make a phone call back
Yeah.
to their office.
Yeah.
So that's
I mean, I saw floppy disks. I saw like cassette players.
yeah.
And it's just like in less than 30 years, it's changed dramatically versus the previous 30 years before
Right.
that. So
Well, I'm only
I can only
21,
imagine.
so
Right.
yeah, I haven't seen all of that.
I
Like
go-
you have.
Just read about all those things.
Yeah.
Read about them on YouTube.
I mean, it's pretty crazy, but yeah, I can only imagine how much technology, what you've seen throughout the years of how technology has changed and
Oh yeah.
the adaptation that has to be in order to give the customer the best and to make sure that they're in good hands.
Right.
So-
Right. And it's a lot of fun because we'll go into a project, being brought in.
Yeah.
What is needed for this application?
Today we also have with us James.
Hey, good morning. James Rano here. So I work technical sales and project management here at Applied Technology Group. I've been here for several years, not as long as some of the experts we have here, but definitely learned a lot over the years. Kind of immersed myself. As Jeff mentioned, it's always a learning experience here, which is great.
Yeah.
My main kind of goal here, my job here, is to kind of work with either the end user or a lot of integrators to kind of manage, either their existing systems, what improvements we can do, new customers, how can we get them to where they want to be as far as transferring data back and forth between locations. Yeah, it's just really exciting being able to work with some of the customers that we do and know that, we kind of have a stake in providing drinking water for, managing sewage, for, things that the day-to-day person, really needs to live a good life that we are accustomed to here.
Right. Yeah. And so what's your take on SCADA consulting? What is this for the people that are listening to the podcast and probably have no idea what the topic really is? How would you describe SCADA consulting?
So SCADA, it stands for Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition, which is a fancy way of saying getting information and telling something to do something. On the kind of simplest level, think of your thermostat at home. It monitors the temperature, that's information. It turns a piece of equipment on or off, whether that's the heater or the air conditioner. In the simplest form, that's a SCADA system. Now, what we do is a wireless SCADA system. So think of a reservoir tank that's on the top of a hill, a pump station that maybe fills that reservoir that's a mile away, and a home office that might be 5 miles away. So we deal with the radios that let all those things communicate to one another. So you can, sit in an office and control that, make sure there's no alarms, make sure everything's going good with that, which at the end of the day gives you more stability, can save on cost because now you don't have to send somebody out to turn a pump on or off or to monitor it. It's really just about, the convenience, the control, the security, to making sure everything works the way it's supposed to work.
Collecting all this data to then kind of control and maneuver as easier as possible.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And what if somebody wants to be a new customer? The first steps to take for an account, how would you guys go about it? Jeff, how does somebody start?
Well, the first thing we want to talk with the customer about what assets they have, what facilities or water tanks. If we're talking about a water district, we want to know where their facilities are. So we'll collect those GPS coordinates, and then we will implement those into our computer modeling software that we can then look at what a line of sight path is. And line of sight is, there's multiple grades. We want to have, if it's a microwave link, we need pure line of sight, which we have no debris, clutter, trees, buildings in the way of the path, so that we have just pure signal getting from point A to point B. Then with the different frequencies, we can introduce to get to endpoints where their pump station is, their lift station, their reservoir, their field office, their vehicle, if there's something's in the vehicle to communicate. We can look at where those locations need to be and make sure that we design the system with adequate signal for that application. So there's a lot of data collection, a lot of manipulation of that into the computer software, and then choosing the right product to fulfill that end goal.
Every customer situation is different.
Oh,
So you want to make
yeah.
sure that you're abiding by what specifically they need.
Yeah, it's the same product a lot of times, or same concept, because they all have
right.
but it's the terrain is different. The buildings, the area is different.
The details and all that.
And and so the goals are different. Budgets are different. That's a big thing. I always feel like the systems that we build are kind of like a child. It's our baby that we're watching being grown and matured. And you drive through California and Washington and all the places that we've been, and you can see these existing towers that are still standing strong and supporting the system that we built.
One thing that I noticed when I first started working here with some of the people that had been around for a long time is how much they remembered of projects they did 5-10 years ago. And I really didn't understand it until now that I've been doing it for a couple of years. It's, like Jeff says, they are your babies. You remember a lot more than you kind of think you will about it, because you get so invested in it. It is a process. It's, we're not a box seller. We're involved as much as we can be, as much as the customer needs us to be in the build out of their system. We always try to see, okay, what do you need to accomplish? What problems are you seeing, and how can we help you do that? Not just today, but in the long term.
Exactly. And I guess something to kind of finalize, the importance of hiring an expert for this, because, a lot of people, especially now with this economy, it's like you want to try to get a good service, but at the lowest, price possible. And so, but this is something very, very important. It's something essential, whether it's for a company or whether if it's for, a house that's trying to get some good Wi-Fi service, whatever it be, you want to try to get the best. Of course, it's always going to save money, but the importance of hiring experts actually at the end of the day saves you money. What do you guys think on that concept?
Oh, it's very true. We will go in, and what we're looking for is how to save the client money so that they are not wasting it building something that is blocked by a mountain. A lot of times people will use lesser grade propagation studies that they don't add the clutter, or they don't look at it as deeply as what we do.
So really the knowledge base and the years of experience that some of our technicians have here are really invaluable to, you do it right the first time, saves you money because then you don't have to do it all over again because something
Right.
didn't work. You
Yeah.
missed something. You misread something. Something was misrepresented to you. So we really try to strive to get it right the first time, and then you're good to go.
That's a lot of what we'll bring because we want the client to be happy and a system that is working. Big thing with Applied is we want that
Yes.
quality.
That says a lot
So-
with, I mean, the company. What year did the company start, Jeff?
Oh gosh, 86.
Yeah.
And that was, let's see, that was the year I graduated from high school. Good old days. Yeah, I
Remember that
started
year.
with getting notes to go to the customer's location to do
Mhm.
installations of their radio system.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would leave, the parking lot of high school with my truck and go to the customer's location and
Mm-hmm.
do the installs and then go home and do a little bit of homework.
We're talking about since '86, and the company's, still strong, still going.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
that
still
says a
fun.
lot.
It's
Yeah.
still fun.
We can talk about it in a podcast, but it's like,
Yeah.
look at how much the company has been, and if anything, it's growing and growing every day. So it's just like that speaks volumes. And
Well,
so-
just like the podcast, years ago, it would be a letter being sent off to everybody that somebody had to type or they did a copy sheet on the back of it before the Xerox machine made that possible.
I still don't understand how FaceTime works. It's like, okay, they're in front of you, but they're not in front of you though. Like, how can I see you in front of me? Like, yeah, if you start thinking about technology, it starts getting like crazy. But I mean, thank you guys so much for stopping by and talking about your knowledge, talking about your craft as far as Scada Consulting. I will include your emails with this podcast so that if anyone wants to contact you guys, be able
Sounds
to
good,
answer
yeah.
any questions. But
Thank you for having us and
anything-
putting this on.
Of course, anything else you'd like to add?
No, just looking forward to if you clients have any issues or
Yes.
concerns, give us a call and we'll try to help you out.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing too big or too small for us.
You guys are the best. Thank you so much for joining us.
All right. Very
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you.